Welcome to Critical Ditto, the Pokemon role-playing podcast, run by us, given to you. And I'm Stuart, I'm running the game.
Buy one, get one free. I'm Ali, I play Kenny, the troubled teen whose superpowers make him occasionally mean. Do you know where that's come? That's come from NADPod, which I keep recommending to you guys. Not another D&D podcast.
At NADPod.
He's got a Dartrix called Bowtie, a Magikarp called Moustache, and a Salandit called Hoops.
My name is David. I am playing the increasingly dyspeptic former church member and academic Theo. And Theo has 3 Pokemon, which are Meditite, Swaddle, God, where's Swaddle gone, eh? And a Kabuto called Cabbage.
And I'm Tom, and I'm playing Brandi, the former champion of the Pokemon League's cheerleader, but wants to be the Pokemon champion herself and not no Pokemon breeder. Rhymed-ish, it was close.
Oh,
right?
That was a
rhyme.
What were you doing?
Okay.
I was doing a rhyme.
What was that?
That was a rhyme. Listen back, and you'll know that
Cheerleader and
rhymes
breeder.
with breeder.
Okay.
That was poetry.
On a technical level.
You did poem.
Yes.
I did poem. I put my poem in you.
I poet.
I poeted in you for that. Fine. I have
No, you know what? We started negatively here. Well done, Tom.
Well done, Tom.
mate.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your words.
Stu, can you tell the people what Pokemon I have?
Yes, Tom is playing Brandi, has a Bunnery called Wimpy, a Skorupi, sort of has a Skorupi called Gary, and a Munchlax named Snorleone.
Thanks, Stu.
Come back in, Tom. That's
Come back in. Come back to the podcast. I can't speak anymore.
Right, well, so, what happened the last time we sat down?
Previously on Critical Ditto.
Brandi, you enter the casino and scan the floor.
I'm going to try to sneak into the staff-only area. Brandy's going to release Snorleone.
Munchlax used to run the casino, but was ousted.
By the Weasel family.
Snorleone goes over to the Weasel head, looks at Brandy, and then crushes the Weasel head. I scratch your back, you scratch mine.
I know you. You're the one that I took the Skorupi from.
We should take her to the boss. We left Kenny and Theo on the rooftop. Kenny messes up, and Theo stumbles, and Theo just falls backwards, crashes into the window. So Theo falls a story down and lands on their back. The speedy Gardevoir has arrived now.
So my best Pokemon
So your Pokemon has fainted. You stumble into a room dedicated to mystical items.
Theo looks up at the wall of items, and there is one sort of indent where something should be. And I think Theo just hits it.
You don't question it. You press it, you punch it, and then nothing happens. 5 Gardevoirs enter the room, led by Jolly, as they start to encircle the pair of you. Drip. 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 Bootang, a stout man in his mid-40s with wide-set, narrow eyes and a goatee, glanced up from his newspaper. Drip. Another leak, he thought. Drip. This place is falling apart, he sighed. Guess that's what you get for building personal holding cells into the structure of an ancient obelisk, Master Munchlax. He froze. He'd only thought it. Didn't even finish the thought. Surely its reach didn't extend all the way down here. Drip. After a second, he shook off the dread, hoiked up his ill-fitting Pokeball belt, and returned to his newspaper. Was he that paranoid? No. He'd seen what Master Buizel and her terrifying mind-reading Shedinja had done to others whose thoughts had even wandered towards their previous master, Munchlax. The entrance to the prison clanged open. Paytang, a second guard, in his late teens with a slight frame and a severely shaved head, approached. 2 new ones, Father. Jolly caught them breaking into the museum. Paytang turned over his shoulder to reference the Gardevoir floating menacingly behind 2 captives. Any chances of the cells getting full? Bootang gave his ledger a cursory glance. Not at the rate the boss has been calling these unfortunates upstairs. Drip. Separate them from their Pokeballs and stick them in cell 4. Bootang said wearily. Paytang turned to the doorway. Stood in it were the silhouettes of Kenny and Theo, their hands bound by Jolly the Gardevoir's lingering psychic energy, their shoulders rounded in defeat. Cell 4 it is then. The door to Cell 4 swung open aggressively, and Kenny and Theo were shoved inside. There was a splash as their feet instantly made contact with water, the floor almost entirely flooded. Drip. Drip. Oh, guess that's where the leak is. That's where we're going to start off.
Okay.
In Cell 4 of this obeliskian prison, built into, as I mentioned, the sort of eye-piercing obelisk. These personal holding cells built into this towering structure at some point in its shaft.
Thanks for the eye contact, Stu.
I really directed that at you, didn't I?
Did, with the hand as well.
Trunk.
Stem?
Damon.
Stem.
Matt Damon. Yes, so let's say you're about halfway up.
Okay.
You're about halfway up the obelisk. Below you is a cafe. Let's say.
A Starbucks.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I think you can infer that upstairs maybe not as nice as the
The cafe area.
the cheese toasty dispensary downstairs. But yeah,
Kenny and Theo come in each eating a cheese toasty because they bring people up via the cafe.
oh yeah, they're not monsters. But yeah, so you're about halfway up. But as I said, it's quite dilapidated. It's obviously built into this ancient structure, so it's not modern. It's very much repurposed and therefore a little bit shabby chic, circa Egypt. AD 300.
Famed origin of the shabby chic trend.
You know it.
Cleopatra, famous for distressed bureaus.
But what do we know? We've got a series of cells. Let's say 6. We've got about 6 cells. Mm-hmm. There is a sort of circular-esque desk area where Bootang is sat. I see him very much as a Paul Blarty-esque type. Doesn't look much. Whether that means he's not very good at his job, I don't know. And Paytang has sort of put you guys into the cell and then has left the prison area for the time being.
Paytang, the son of Bootang.
Yes. I think you can see into the cell across from you. Theo, how do you recognise the person in the cell across from you?
I think it's the figure in the cell across is fairly obscured, but I think that what one cannot see, one can probably get the aroma of.
Ooh.
So I think there's probably quite a strong smell coming from this other prisoner.
Excellent. And this smell, what period of your life does it conjure? And what memory is associated with that might lead to this person?
Oh, I thought you knew. I thought you had an idea of who it was going to be.
Oh, we're going to draw this out. We're going to find this right now.
Oh, okay.
I have not got a clue.
Great.
This
That's
is
good.
this a blank canvas.
Great.
Picture in that cell an easel.
Okay.
Okay, and we like Smeagol.
Smelly easel.
We're going to paint on that smelly painting. Okay, together.
Okay.
Let's take the brush. Here we go,
Take
David.
the aromatic brush.
Okay.
And,
Is it a childhood smell? Is it a pre-church smell? Is it
Pre-church
Is it?
from Armani, the pre-church smell.
But is this from maybe one of your expeditions? What do we think?
yeah, I'm going to go with expedition. That's
like
fun.
that.
That's a fun little twist.
Well, we know very little about your expeditions, right?
Yeah, so I'm going to say it's a smell that takes Theo back to their first ever expedition.
Ooh.
The first ever time they decided to step outside the church.
Tell me about that.
So I think the first time for Theo was probably not fully renegade. I think the first time was probably just there was some kind of missionary expedition. The church were going to do something educational and informative somewhere nearby. Heading down Route Uno, probably, down to find something to do.
Can I make a suggestion?
Please.
Well, what we do know about the church is that the only members of the church that we have seen moving about with some degree of personal agency were the paladins. So perhaps, I don't know, maybe the paladins were doing some kind of mission around Surfloat.
Sure.
And either Theo disguised himself as a paladin or found a way to legitimately tag along with said paladins.
Yeah, I think Theo was respected enough, even if that, especially at this point, pre being the weird one that leaves, that Theo was probably sort of a star pupil, allowed to follow along. It was just like, pop along, see what the church does, because eventually at some point you'll probably want to be a paladin yourself.
Fair. You're on paladin track.
Have a little look.
You've been tapped. Yes.
Fast track. That's why I was so good with that stave.
Excellent.
Nice.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
So it's basically a ride-along.
It's a ride. Okay,
Yeah.
right.
A ride-on along.
I was a paladin turn at the time.
A paladin turn.
A paladin turn on a ride-on along.
So great. So there was a mission going on around Surfloat, not too far, which
Not
is
too
why
far.
it was safe.
Not too far.
But the paladins were there, and you went on a tag-along mission.
Yeah.
Spell tag along.
Work experience.
Okay,
yes.
so what was the church looking for in this spot? I assume some kind of knowledge they were going to seize.
Yeah.
Or something.
I'm going to say that they weren't entirely clear with Theo at the time what the mission was. I think it was just kind of, we're doing some reconnaissance.
How young were you? You came to the church a bit older than most do, but
Yeah.
just to paint add another sort of layer to that easel.
Smell to the easel.
Another squirt on the easel.
Ali's just chucking paint from the back.
What smell? What age were you? I think Theo was probably about 17, 18. So it's been there a few years.
The late teens.
Yeah. Beginning to find agency, not quite sort of spotty rebellion.
So they're taking you on this mission.
Yeah.
We're a little opaque about what it was about.
I think Theo has probably gleaned from friends within the church in years since that maybe it was a sighting of one of the books that might lead to the King's Rock. Maybe. Maybe it was. I don't think it worked out. I don't think it was fruitful.
Oh, okay.
But maybe this is why paladins go out as kind
So
of
it was a hush hush.
Yeah.
Touch the nose secret mission. Okay, but then maybe this smell. There was a person.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that the paladins. Maybe they didn't treat them that well.
Mm-hmm.
These paladins, they've arrived along the coast of Surfloat. Across these craggy cliffs, there's this shack tied to the edge of the cliff.
Yeah.
Totally remote.
Yeah.
Surrounded by wingulls.
Yeah.
And the paladins have caught wind that someone here has information or knows something about one of these tomed artifacts before the church has got hold of them. And maybe they take you in and they're sort of, this is how we do things. With the paladins, we get in, we get the information, we do our jobs. And we do what needs to be done. You understand, don't you, Theo?
Yeah, of course. And I think at around that moment, while Theo's sort of having this sort of polite chat with somebody they very heavily respect, there's maybe like a sound of something quite intense going on.
Absolutely,
inside.
like in the other room, but there's a smell coming through. And the smell we found is blood. No.
That's what we've organically reached there.
No, I like this. There's some kind of sound that doesn't sound particularly friendly, doesn't sound...
I think Theo at the time was probably just like, one of those paladins has probably knocked over a pile of books, those crazy paladins. But now with a lot of context, and now getting the smell again is something like, I think there was a violent assault that took place in that shack.
Maybe there's one of those things where the paladins, they come out and they leave and they're like, right, we're heading back, Theo. This was not fruitful. Never mind. Maybe next time you'll see some action. But maybe as
comes out with a bloodied knife.
Nothing to see here.
Sorry, boss, nothing in.
one walks out with a polyrath and just blood dripping down. Polyrath. But yeah, as maybe you're leaving, maybe something in you forces you to look back.
Yeah.
And you see this figure has been essentially beaten within an inch of their life, and they can't really speak. I think maybe they're muttering something to themselves, but all you get is this smell. Is it incense? Is it their perfume?
Yeah. I was going to say that I think in the church there's probably a great deal of sort of functional aroma, because I feel like you got your frankincense and your myrrh. These aromas are not particularly pleasant. These smells are kind of there to like incite states or to like.
Sorry to all the myrrh fans out there.
But all these scents are kind of existed to like bring about a state, to put you in a particular place, to help with prayer. They're not really there to be like a delightful aroma. But I think there's maybe something quite homely. It's a smell that's enjoyable.
Is it baking?
Maybe, yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Home baking stuff like
just some kind of like poker buns or something.
Yeah.
This person had been doing some baking just before the paladins arrived.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what the house smells like.
So the smell is a mix of baking and blood, which I believe is the title of Mary Berry's next book.
Anyway, so that's the smell that you get. And for some reason, this lingering baking smell has clung to this person. And it's so vivid and so intense that it takes you entirely back to that memory. And you realise in that moment that, this must be the same person. Kenny, what are you doing in the cell?
Theo, can you hear a drip? I was just drip. His initial response was desolation. Really, when they were caught, he was like, "Oh, we were so close. We were right there."
You weren't that close.
No, but
you don't know.
But it's the feeling.
Also, Kenny didn't know, but like for the first time, he was like, "We're finally doing something. We're getting some answers. Yeah. We're right there. We're gonna press a button," and it fell apart. So he sort of was pretty full on. But then I think Kenny saw that Theo was in a state as well, and is more concerned now with his friend, and sort of awkwardly sitting in this puddle, observing Theo.
There's a bench right there, and Kenny's just not sat in it.
Theo is standing, and Kenny is sitting in the puddle.
Just park me tuchus in the puddle.
Okay, Kenny, think. What does Theo? What'll cheer Theo up? Questions. Theo loves questions. Let's ask Theo some questions. You okay, Theo?
Sure, of course, yeah. Of course I am. I'm always fine.
Yeah, I kind of don't believe you.
Listen, I'm sorry that my response every time something goes wrong is to just tear into you or to me or to Brandi. I'm really sorry.
That's okay. Theo, for a very clever person, that's a very silly thing to say. I've had this power since I was born, and no one has ever tried to help me before. And you've already done more than anyone. More than my family, more than anyone who's ever encountered it. I don't really know if you have any ulterior motive or not, but I don't care. You tried to help me. And so, yeah, we failed. But we're getting closer, right? I'm sure you know as a teacher that every step in the wrong direction puts you back on the right path. So, we'll get there eventually. I'm more concerned with you, to be honest.
After the Mind Palace and what we went through on that beach, I felt like maybe I had some kind of knowledge that would be able to help you. I felt like I was in some way adept at being able to assist in this, but the more time we spend together, the more I realised that I keep waiting to try and explain something to you that I don't have any answers to.
Isn't there also something quite exciting in trying to find some answers? Maybe we're approaching this the wrong way. You're a teacher, right? You've taught people about battling, and you've taught Pokemon about battling. If I can do some of the stuff that Pokemon can do, how would you train me as a Pokemon?
You know, that's a very smart point, Kenny.
You're probably more interested in what this is than I am. I just want to control it. I don't want to hurt people.
I think the two things lead to the same conclusion, though, which is I think why you got given that letter in the first place. And then I think Theo, for a moment, remembers the scent across the hall and remembers a time when somebody really needed help and they didn't do anything. And it's like, right, well, maybe, okay, let's rectify some changes while we can. Let's try and assist somebody. And so Theo looks at Kenny and goes, well, Pokemon learn about their skills through competition and combat and through using their powers. We don't have any Pokemon anymore. I guess I'm the only one you can use them against.
You want me to attack you? What?
I mean, this day can't get much worse, Kenny, so, yeah, I mean, I'll fight back. I mean, I'm not going to just leave you to do it. That'd be weird, but, yeah, I guess let's see what happens.
Let's go for one of the more basic ones.
Okay.
There was a point when I was really young where I started falling and I stopped on the floor. I kind of, levitated a little bit.
Okay.
What makes a Pokemon levitate?
Well, it's either usually through flight or through magnetism or being a ghost. I mean, there's kind of a multitude of different ways.
Can I step in? Theo has laid down a gauntlet here.
I want to do that.
You do want to do that?
I do want to do that.
Yeah.
But I'm like, Kenny doesn't even know how to initiate it.
Maybe Theo has to incite... I mean, I guess because we've experienced it before, it usually is reactive. It's not proactive at this stage.
Well, that's fun. Maybe
better.
Kenny is sort of like talking to Theo, asking these questions, and Theo, maybe you're like...
Just preparing the confused right
Yeah,
now,
you're maybe like, yeah.
Yeah, so my terrible answer about levitating is actually just me trying to distract you.
You're just stalling for time.
Very good.
Okay, great. So, while you're having your sort of paper snow, a ghost moment, what are you doing, Theo?
So, Theo, whilst reciting every Pokemon in the Pokedex that has the levitate ability.
Gengar did have it, then they took it away because it was too overpowered.
And so at this point, Theo is reaching into the bandolier, which I don't think was touched.
No, they
otherwise.
just all they took away was your
They only
your
care about the
Pokeballs.
Pokeballs.
Yeah.
They don't think anyone have supernatural powers. That's,
Sure.
That's not a thing in this world.
So I think Theo is just is reaching in and pulling out from the bandolier, and I think there's a moment while Theo is doing it where Theo's like, Kenny kind of needs a push, and also maybe let's just do it. Let's give it a go. Even though Theo is beginning to feel that guilt of doing it to somebody that they have grown to like, I think Theo goes, I've done this plenty of times before. Why the heck not again? Like, I mean, we've made some terrible decisions today. Let's just keep hugging the wound.
Okay, so you're gonna fire your confuse ray
Yeah.
powder
Yeah.
at Kenny.
And I think it's very like if it was to succeed, that Theo is very lackadaisical about doing it. It's just kind of like, it's like tossing back 2 paracetamol when you've got a headache. I think it's just like
Great. Let's roll.
So upset having to roll.
Sometimes I feel like the explanation should be good enough, but a roll isn't necessary.
No, I like it. I like it. I mean,
I'll do it.
keep talking. I might give you a +1.
I don't feel that's going to change anything.
I love that huge explanation did not earn you a +1.
Right.
So, is this a move that you have?
It's a surprise move if that's worthy of a +1.
Is it one of your poker power plays? Use poker powers. This is a move, isn't it? Okay, right. So roll plus sharp, Theo.
Okay, so I'm +2 for sharp, just in case
Cool.
anyone,
No one doubted
in case
that.
anyone had forgotten that this Sharpedo over here was
Come on.
Oh my goodness me!
What is it? What is it?
Oh, it's an 11 + 2. It's a 13.
Oh, that's huge.
I just wish I hadn't been on this roll.
Hey, this might work out very well for
might
Kenny.
work out very well.
Great. So, according to our rules, which we now have, on a 10+, the power works without issues. Choose your effect, and on a 12+, you get to add an additional effect on top of that. So, have a look at these effects, David.
Read them aloud, preferably, for our audience.
There's quite a few of them, but sure.
So there's a few different effects. I can either inflict 1 harm.
I want to cut him.
Additional effect, another harm.
Enchant a weapon or item.
Ooh.
Enchant me.
Do one thing that is beyond human limitations.
Yes.
Bar a place or portal to a specific person or Pokemon. Trap a specific person. What is bar in that situation? Bar a place, as in like block.
As in block someone. If I was to bar someone from a circle,
I see.
I write a symbol and then a
see.
Pokemon perhaps could not enter my space.
Okay.
If you were
Lovely.
defending.
Yeah, okay, lovely. Trap a specific person or Pokemon. I can heal 1 harm. I can remove a curse or exorcise a spirit. That cuts the plotline down quite quick.
You heal. See you guys. I'm going home.
Communicate with a Pokemon. Observe another place or time. Or an agreed effect with the narrator. Okay.
So ignore all those, Stu. You can come up with whatever you One effect
one bonus.
plus a bonus effect.
Okay, so yes. So I feel like 1 would be remove a curse or exercise, but I don't mean that in terms of removing what is ailing Kenny, but we have some ability to assess.
out.
Yeah, we draw out, or maybe we can actually assess or define some part of it.
That's
Okay.
great.
In the process of doing it, we get a clue as to what it is, and then with observe another place or time. I mean, we came here to observe, to get some information, to get some exposition. Maybe this leads to that fated exposition that we've been here for the whole time.
So you're looking for some info. It's less of an attack. It's more of a like. I don't know if anyone's seen Doctor Strange, but you know where Doctor Strange gets punched, and it's almost like his spirit flies out the back
absolutely.
of him. By Tilda Swinton.
Yes.
Brilliant.
In many ways, Theo's inspiration.
Very, very good.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is one powerful confused ray.
This is the best thing Theo has done the entire campaign.
I'm basically staging instrumentality. It's something else.
It's nice that your biggest win comes after your biggest L, though, in a way.
If you want for some exposition, perhaps, what if the person in the cell opposite is Hillary from the...
Holy.
What we know is that Hillary was in Pyranile, or was at least last seen in Pyranile, and someone who Theo was told, this person might be able to help, and then this person, let's say, witnesses this scene happening. This is just a vague suggestion.
No, I think it's a great one.
Just a vague, like, absolute hairpin turn.
But as in, like,
this isn't a twist. This is a...
But I think it would be great
No,
to
I
see
like it. I really like it.
Theo draw out some of Kenny's power, and we
Yeah.
see Kenny's power there in the cell, and then Hillary can see it, and perhaps
be
through
like-
improv, explain.
Say! What's happening over there? I have a bazooka. Careful. Whoa.
Well, what we know about Hillary was they were a mobile library and they were
Okay.
connected to the King's Rock.
Well, maybe that's why they started the mobile libraries, because their original base on the cliff got raided. So they were like, well, I can't stay in one place anymore. Need to be on the move.
I think, and it's a secret library that, because obviously the church don't like people selling information. So here's my pitch: Hillary sells cakes, but has a secret library.
It's a front. It's a front. Inside every bun is a tiny book.
It's a tiny book.
What is this? A library for ants?
A scroll within a roll.
Okay. Wait. Sorry. I just need to remember who Hillary is.
A lovely libretto within a Viennetta.
This was. Yeah, really
Whoa!
good.
I
Really
wondered
good.
why you went quiet, Tom.
You know, when I'm going quiet, dangerous things are happening.
Can it be called just cookbook?
Cookbook.
It's just called cookbook.
Yeah.
It's called Cookbook.
It's just their van is called cookbook.
Love it.
Okay.
What a time to be alive.
Yes, we all got it. Everybody gets one.
Guys, is anyone still listening? Hello? Hello? Hello?
So anyway, Hillary excommunicated from church. Now, correct if I'm wrong, David, but you came up with Hillary as a character, but Theo doesn't know Hillary. Is that correct?
Theo does not know
Kanan
Hillary.
knows Hillary.
Kanan knows Hillary.
Kanan told
There's a
Theo
connection.
to find Hillary.
Well, and perhaps Theo does kind of know Hillary, having seen...
knows the face, I guess.
Knows the face.
As long as it's not bruised and, excommunicated, runs this mobile library cookbook, which is also a baking food stall, was apparently raided, about sort of 6 or 7 years ago. raided by some paladins who were after information, and obviously one of their first port of calls is a known excommunicated heretic, if you will, and has since gone on to run this mobile library and has found themselves imprisoned in a cell in an obelisk in Pyrenile.
So for our listeners, this is going back to Season 1, Episode 5, I believe, when Theo was given the mission to find Hillary and promptly did not find Hillary.
Until Hillary was literally put in front of them.
Hillary...
Locked up so they could not go anywhere else.
And who will accuse us of railroading and say, no one.
This isn't Pokemon Sword and Shield. We've had freedom. Cut that if we get sponsorship.
Gosh, right, I have to narrate this now. So, Theo, you've readied this Confuse Ray-esque powdered pulse,
Yes.
is how I'm sort of seeing it.
Yeah.
And as Kenny is absent-mindedly talking to you, you catch him completely off guard. And it's a 3-fingered pronged thrust. Just to bring a bit of mysticism into the scene. And it's like false martial art, Kung Fu Crush Claw that's like hits pressure points, which does nothing. But actually, in this case, it does. And Kenny, it's like the wind is totally knocked out of you. And not only is the wind knocked out of you, but you have this weird out-of-body experience. And it's like so many feelings at once. It's like when that smoke was going into your lungs back in the stadium. It's like when you were out of body and you were in Rowlett. It's like when you were flying. It's all these feelings wrapped into this one amalgam. And you sort of see your own body. And you see Kenny, his back slightly arched. You see Theo, their hand in your chest. And all you're aware of is this pinkish purplish aura that's part scallopy, part toucanon, part who knows what. And there's this miasmatic glow in the cell for all of 4-5 seconds. And then it's sucked back in. And the air immediately returns to your lungs. And you're aware again that you have limbs and muscles and organs, and the heart is beating, and it's beating fast and loud. Clang, clang! 2 hands clasping onto the iron bars of their cell, and a face half obscured by shadow, but half illuminated. And Theo, it's a face that you half recognise. Hillary. You only glimpsed it in your life, but that moment has had such a profound effect on you that it's almost like you've seen that face every day, and you know that that's Hillary. Quite long, bedraggled hair pouring out of the sides of their head, very little on top. Quite old, paper-thin moustache, slightly jowly, but there's lots of laugh lines. Clearly quite a vibrant life has been led there, and their eyes are wide. And they're just looking dead across at the cell. What was that? Yeah, I'm happy with my choice.
To the voice.
He's committed to the voice.
What did you see?
I saw myself. This cell. I flew outside of myself. What did you do?
I thought I was just using Confuse Ray. I've never really gone that far with that power before, but I feel like somehow we managed to disconnect the two of you for a moment, whatever this other thing is.
So, maybe that's the same with everyone. Maybe there's a physical and a spiritual side to everyone.
Of course there is.
Oh, what? Who said that?
Me.
Kenny looks like behind them.
No, you dense child on the other side of the cell.
Looks to the left.
That's a wall.
To the right.
No, that's the other wall.
Oh.
Don't look down, please. Whatever. Do not. It's a puddle. I'm going to say already. There is just water on the floor. It's me. I'm in front of you.
Theo already has been turned around this entire time.
Great smoking. This is exhausting.
Oh my God, Theo! There's someone over there.
Nice of you to join us.
Hello. What did you say?
I said, what was that?
I think you might know what that was if you are who I think you are.
You know me?
I remember something about you.
A memory.
A memory.
Vague and miasmatic.
Almost as if being taken to another place or time.
Can anyone else smell cakes?
Yes, that's my armpits.
Oh, it's very fragrant.
It's much better than antiperspirant.
Yes, very pleasant.
Yes.
Sorry, my name is Kenneth Mullet.
Kenneth Mullet.
Yes. Who are you?
Hillary.
You're Hillary.
Yes, of the cookbook. You've heard of my delectable treats?
Oh my
That's all
slow king, I've heard so much more about you than just what you can bake.
You mean the unmentionable words?
Kanan's told me all about you.
You know Kanan?
You know, we hung out every so often, yeah.
You must be that great student of theirs. What was their name? Adrifamansk. Kanan would not stop talking about their brightest pupil, the one they had tea with, their perfect partner, the one who would take their place in the church. Adrifamansk. What an honour to meet you.
You know, you left the church quite a while ago, so I imagine that you just missed the stage where I became Kanan's favourite. But that's fine. It happens to a lot of people, actually. A shocking amount of people during this last couple of days seems to have forgotten my deeply powerful platonic friendship.
Oh my God, will everybody shut up?
Of course, sir. Sorry about that. Just old friends catching up.
I don't care. Look, you'll all be out of these cells soon anyway. As soon as the master decides, you'll be up into the arena.
The arena?
What's that now?
And just at that moment, the prison door opens again, the entrance, and Pei Tang stands there.
Oh, he's got another cheese toasty. Thank you very much.
Was going to eat that myself.
Nom, nom, nom.
Pei, you've got to be harder with your toasties, Pei. You can't be buying prisoners toasties all the time. They're not our friends, Pei. Pei.
You're right.
Oh, I understand.
Dad, do you want a toasty? No, I did it again.
No, I'll take one.
I mean, I was okay. There you go. Yeah.
One
One rule for some, one for others.
Yeah, tell me about it.
The point is, we are criminals, and we can't buy toasties for the prisoners. Now, who have you got for me? Pei. And next to Pei is a pink-haired girl dressed in an ace trainer outfit. Another one, Father. This one was caught in the casino. Not even sure what she was doing. She just seemed to be hanging around with Mesprit Dealer. He insisted that she be taken here and be taken to the boss. So here she is. Brandi is thrust into the prison. Cell number 7. Oh, yes, the secret cell. Whoa. You thought there was only 6.
What a twist!
And that's where we'll end this episode. Thanks for the toasty, Pei. It was very good. I did think perhaps there was too much filling for
too much.
But
what did you think of the cram?
I actually did. I felt a little weak for my liking.
It was sourdough.
Oh, how did you build your starter up?
Oh, well, I've got 3 jars on the go at the moment, actually.
Stop!
Sorry. Anyway, I'll be back on patrol, I suppose.
You should get back on patrol. I can't do your voice. Can't do the voice of the man.
Who, Bootang? No one can.
Is this Bootang?
It's out the side of your mouth. Bootang. That's it.
Bootang. Okay, one more time from the top. Take 3. Son, stop fraternising with the prisoners and go back on patrol.
Brandi!
Kenny, Theo,
The gang's back together again!
Yes, an incarceration have
In
threatened.
prison!
why are you here?
Why are you here?
It's a long story. I'd rather not go into it.
Bootang is, at this moment, taking Brandi to the cell, but Bootang is incredibly slow. Like literally slower than a shuckle. You have time to have a conversation, is what I'm saying.
Mr. Bootang, can you just put me in their cell? Is that all right? I know them, they're mates. Is that all right? Is that cool?
Roll.
Plus charm.
Yeah, plus charm.
8 plus 1, it's a 9.
It's a mixed success. So, ostensibly, yes.
I have to
But
prove.
you have to give me something to prove you mean it. All right, here we go. All right. I wouldn't normally ask this, but my son's clearly taken a liking to you.
Okay, well, the answer's no. Put me in the other cell then. Don't need to finish that thought. I'm happy with cell 7.
Okie dokie. You can still.
Can we still shout across the prison?
Yeah, maybe for the sake of the podcast, we'll say that yes, you can, but you don't need to
You don't need to shout.
shout. Yes. Yeah.
So, listener, please imagine every 2 or 3 minutes, Bootang just going,
plugged-
shut up!
Bootang's plugged headphones in. Bootang's like, this is going to happen. I have not got the energy to deal with this. Put some headphones on. He's listening to a podcast. What podcast? Critical Ditto. Oh my god, it's a loop we can't escape. We're stuck in the meta zone. Anyway, yes. So yeah, you can speak.
I made a bit of an error. I'm not going to lie. Ended up with me saving Adri from Mansk. Regret it. Worst thing I ever did. But which in turn led me to lose Gary the Scroopy. And so now I'm here to get him back. And so actually, it's all going to plan. How about you?
Wait, hold on just a cotton picking minute here. It's all going to plan. We're in prison.
I need to meet the boss, and apparently this is the waiting cell to meet the boss. So I'm in a queue.
It's a very wet waiting cell.
No, mine's very dry.
Tom, what do you notice about cell 7?
Very dry. What about you?
I got a bit drunk, didn't I?
You got drunk.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to say that Adri Vermonsk plays a crucial role in all of our failures today.
Oh, not mine. Mine was all of my own doing.
Oh, okay. But Adri Vermonsk plays a crucial role in my failure as well today. Had a mild existential crisis. where I questioned everything I ever-
Wait. You're not Adri Vermonsk? Who are you then?
I'm Theo.
Theo. Yes, you know, Kanan did mention a Theo.
Brilliant, great.
No, they did. It was just that you were very new. You're very new, but said you had potential, and I think I saw that. I'm holding the bars.
Tom has just been sat like a doormat for about 5 minutes.
Tom can't do this voice without an imitation
I'm sorry.
of a begging dog.
I'm sorry if some of us are in the scene. Okay, but I will not apologise.
Please continue.
You were new to Kanan, but they certainly said you had potential.
Well, I don't seem to have lived up to that potential.
I don't know. After what I just saw then, that felt very fulfilled, shall we say.
Yes, what did happen just then?
Let's drop some lore.
Y'all ready for this?
Let's drop some lore.
Y'all ready for this?
Let's drop some lore. Lore.
Y'all ready for this?
Okay, Hillary is going to reveal something, so let's decide what Hillary can reveal.
Only if Theo can roll another 13.
I feel like I'm not sure if we've alluded to this in the past or not. I don't know if we need to tie poker powers as a whole in some way into
The Tale of Slow King.
and into the King's Rock in some way.
I think that's probably a good idea. Kenny? You said your name was?
Yes,
Where are you from, Kenny?
Comeover Town. It's a little farming village.
Comeover Town. Kenny, don't be alarmed. You seem like a very calm person. I'm getting a very calming influence from you. Have you ever heard that?
Increasingly so, yes.
Odd, but perhaps not as odd as you'd think. There's something different about you, Kenny. I have read my fair share about poker powers. Hope you don't mind me using that.
No.
Normally, those touched with the power are associated with one Pokemon. A specific typing, something along those lines, but you, that energy that came off you, I couldn't pin it down. And I think you'd struggle to find someone in this region who could. It was everything and nothing all at once.
What, you've never heard of anyone escaping their body like that?
No. No, Kenny. Listen, I hope you don't mind me saying this. And as I say, you seem like a nice person, but there's something in you that scares me.
Oh. If I had a penny.
I sense that you want to do something about it, though.
Very much.
I wish I could do more, but I'm stuck behind these bars and about to face who knows what, but there is something I've heard about. You don't travel the region in a bakery and don't pick up a couple of things on the trails. Let me tell you.
That famous Formian phrase.
And Hilary reaches into their pocket and pulls out an iced bun. Glances over at Bhutan, has fallen asleep, is thoroughly bored, and slides this ice bun across the prison floor.
I've actually just had 2 cheese toasties.
Just rip it apart.
Kenny does so. Gives half of it to Theo.
Can you chop me a bit? Just like a quarter?
It's a symbol, Brandi.
Oh, sorry.
I'll save you a piece.
Thank you.
So, within this bun is a piece of material. Kenny, I don't think you recognise it, but Theo, looking over Kenny's shoulder with a mouthful of bun.
If I had a penny.
You do recognise this. It's the very same material that you saw on the tapestry beneath Surfloat Tower. Damaged tapestry from the blank period. And this fills in a gap. What you see is a figure with the same aura as Kenny. And they seem to be holding the King's Rock and channeling that energy via the King's Rock. And Hilary says, "This is myth and legend we are talking about now, but I have heard somewhere in the central conclave of the church they are trying to develop technology based on what you are seeing now. They're trying to use elements of forgotten knowledge about forbidden artifacts that I dare not speak of to design conduits to help control these powers."
Conduits.
Mm-hmm.
Was the King's Rock a conduit?
Please, keep your voice down.
Was the King's Rock a conduit?
I don't know. There are designs such as this that seem to infer that might be the case.
Maybe this is what I need to do. Need to use the King's Rock or something.
I think, yeah, there are 2 options for us here. We have to try and find that conduit that's being developed at the Conclave, and even if that doesn't work, then we have to find the King's Rock.
If the King's Rock exists, and then a wry sort of chuckle from Hilary.
Have you got another ice bun with more information on that one, Hilary?
My other ice bun has got a King's Rock in it. I'm going to keep that to myself. If you'd have rolled a 14, though. Quest over. But do be cautious. There is still a reason, yet unknown to me and many, especially in the church, as to why the location of the King's Rock is so
Closely guarded?
closely guarded. Thank you. Yeah. Closely guarded.
Slowly guarded.
Closely guarded.
As we say in the church.
Did I put gin in this ice bun? The King's Rock may not be the answer to all problems. It may also reap great danger, be a curse to any who wields it. But I do not know. All we know is that for centuries, an order has been dedicated to stopping people from accessing it. So bear that in mind. Perhaps the true conduit lies elsewhere, inside yourself.
Oh, for God's sake.
Sorry, I read it in an inspirational book called Smoke Without Screams.
Actually saved my favourite quotes in this little red currant bun. Allow me to regale some more.
Shame I put jam in it. Can't read it.
They are just about to read some more when the prison door opens again. But this time there's no new prisoner. No. But it is Paytang.
Another cheese toasties.
With pockets full of toasties. All right, I've got some for everyone now. I felt too bad.
This is the most well-fed prison I think there's ever been.
Yeah, I'm actually too full for another cheese toasty.
Nobody's given me a cheese toasty. Do they
Anyway,
think the church is vegan?
Paytang, can you get... Oh.
I'm sorry, I forgot what I was here. We need the prisoners in cell 7 and cell 4 upstairs. It's time.
Which cell am I in?
Who are you?
I think I was being Hilary.
Oh, sorry, it's not actually that much different.
There isn't actually.
Brandi and Hilary.
Which cell am I in?
Hilary, you've served your narrative purpose. You are in cell 1.
Wait, I've been here so much longer.
Yes, but you've been feeding yourself with buns, so we figured you were sort of all right.
Oh, well, this is ridiculous.
Listen, it's not my decision. I'm just getting orders from upstairs.
As
What did you even do, Hilary? Why are you here?
I killed a guy. I murdered the entire orphanage.
Stabbed them with a bacon knife.
Someone said I had a soggy bottom, and I really didn't like it.
Pei-Tang is like, right, I think we better get people out of here now. Before this situation
Maybe Bo-Tang is like, you know the deal, Hillary. We're waiting for you to get on board that transport. Central Conclave want you. Oh yes, I forgot about that. That's the reason the church want me. I'm a wanted person.
They've paid big bucks for you.
Did they? How much? I just want to know how much I'm worth on the black market.
18 and 3.
18 and 3. Well, 4 score and 7, and that makes me a whole chocolate gatto. Is that what I'm worth to them? 3 chocolate gattos and a couple of bonbons?
And a cherry on top.
Well, that makes all the difference. I'll shut up now. I'll wait to meet you all again on the train.
And scene.
As the three of them leave, Kenny says, as they go, oh, by the way, thank you for the priceless tapestry. And just pockets it.
Yeah, fair enough.
That was my only one.
Yeah, because it was priceless.
There is only one.
I'm probably going to bought my freedom.
That's worth at least 18 and 5.
Now I'm talking to myself here.
Drip.
Back to me and you, Drippy. I didn't know I went mad in here.
Oh my god, right, we're going upstairs.
Who's that Pokemon?
Poliwrath!
Houston, I'm getting a bit of bad feedback on my radio.
I think I can see something. What was that?
Oh my god.
Is that?
Houston,
Oh,
Houston, said something. That's a midsection
I
there.
think it's a midsection.
It's a midsection.
Towards us.
Oh god, quick, open the airlock.
Prepare buttons to do things.
What a horrific looking midsection.
That's
My
right,
word.
the midsection means you no harm. In fact, it's here to be talked about and discussed.
Thank you, midsection. I'm really pleased. Everyone take off your helmets. Let's discuss.
That was my introductory noise. It's intimidating, I know, but I am the midsection and I'm here to talk about a character.
Okay, well, why don't we
Correct.
let Tom tell us what you are then?
Today, midsection, you look like an email from Sarah, known as Otis, on our Discord server. Sarah's question: do paladins have a ranking system? Perhaps there is a more terrifying higher rank within the paladins called Templars. I also had this idea about hidden allies. Perhaps there is a higher ranked paladin or Templar within the church, maybe a U, perhaps, that is very skilled and able to control their hybrid powers. They have been hiding in the church because their calm and meditative nature help them learn how to control their powers. Their hybrid is a haunter, and as such, their ability is levitate. They are revered not only for their physical capabilities, attributed to good health and healthy habits, but also their ability to levitate during meditation. They don't much care for the views of the church in recent years, but it's too late to argue now. Love this character
Tell that
already.
to Theo.
That ship has sailed.
But perhaps the heroes are being chased by paladins, and the Haunter hybrid cuts them off to stop them, lifts their hood just enough to show their transformation of their human face into a distorted Haunter grin. Maybe Theo recognises the person before they change. Then, with an unsettling laugh, lights flicker and go dark, causing the others to flinch and the team to get away. Dark Pulse? Something collapses into the path of the travelling paladins as our heroes run past and make their escape. I'll even provide dice rolls if you want. Ooh, that's a low blow there, Sarah.
Because we cannot be trusted.
But yes, please send those in the post. We will take a dice roll. We'll take a
So
better
we've
dice
not
roll.
only been given an NPC, we've been given a scene.
A full scene. This is a Stuart Clark vignette specialty. But let's take the key points from that.
The key point is that this person loves their fruit and veg and does their press-ups daily. Clearly.
Well, no,
that's what I took from it.
This person has freakishly good aptitude for life and health because they're poker-powered, but they're pretending like they eat loads of fruit and veg. Is what I got from that.
Oh, so then
Being-
what? They're saying, like, oranges have given me the power to levitate.
Yeah,
Is that essentially what they're saying?
basically.
Do we have any recollection of any paladins being poker powered yet? Is this the first time this has
would be
been
the first time.
suggested?
This will be the first one. I only have-
Le Bon actually had the power to explode, but we never saw that. It never came up.
Combined with an electrode. The most inconvenient poker power.
I
in the
thought he
world.
was off, but maybe
I mean,
Electro.
what would the paladins or the Templars, which, by the way, I enjoy that. That's a fun. That's a fun.
Templars are cool.
That's a fun.
Templars are definitely
That's in as far as I'm concerned.
second half of the whole. It's all right when we're just breezing past paladins left, right, and centre, and we need a level up, and there's like, oh, there's a Templar now, and we're like, God damn it! Now they've gone stronger.
Soon there's like 3 Templars in a room, and you're like, man, I remember when it was so hard taking down that one
I
Templar.
remember there was that one Templar. Oh, those are the days.
What are they in Zelda? The Dark Nuts? Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm picturing.
Yeah.
What would the paladins / Templars make of poker powers? They're like high ranked in the church that presumably are trying to sort of keep the wraps of the Slow King power mystery thing, hidden.
I totally agree, and I actually think that Templars would look very, very badly on poker powers. So this character is hiding that fact from Sarah's email.
However, Theo has shown propensity to use similar powers to Kenny, but without the actual powers. So maybe this person is masquerading.
Yes,
similar
very
thing.
much.
Yeah. But they're not actually using any powders at all. It's all natural.
So their powders are just flour
Yeah.
and baking soda.
ash.
People are like, "Where did you get that powder from? I really want to know about it." And they're like,
I got a guy. Like you don't know him.
"You don't know. He only speaks to me. He's outside the church. I'm not really meant to have these powders."
We've just discovered that the church were working on some kind of conduit for poker powers within the conclave. This is a new discovery, so perhaps this Templar is involved in that, or at least benefiting from it.
They might be one of the first test subjects of this King's Rock conduit.
I love that, because that suggests to me test subjects where it's gone horribly wrong.
Oh, yeah.
But it's on the down low. Obviously, the church don't want people to know they're testing these kind of controlling abilities or whatever. So the church are aware, high-ranking members, perhaps the O themselves, know about this Templar and about their abilities, and this is on the sly here.
I also really enjoy the idea of this paladin just going "Blah," with a massive tongue like all the time.
Yeah,
just like creeps out in the most inopportune moments.
Anytime they're trying to speak, they have to hold the tongue within, so they can't actually open their teeth. So they speak like this.
Oh, you got a character voice already.
I cannot open my mouth, so I'm like a ventriloquist dummy, and that's me. I am the Templar with the boo
It was a frightening villain.
This is an ally.
And I'm back in. The tongue is back in the mouth. That is how we are.
Tom gets an awful look.
Just look at the bar, Stu. Look at how much that spiked.
Tom did make a good point. This is an ally. This is not someone that will screw us over. Well, exactly. Well, apparently we're going to be given the dice rolls. So
Can I just say, I don't think we've met a church member who actually likes the church yet.
Le Bon was a pretty big fan.
Oh, well, Le Bon was into it.
The student that died, I think, liked the church.
he loves the church.
Sneaky Ratata dude. Oh, what am I saying? There's loads of them. Yeah. Dozens of them.
Yeah, that it's less interesting to follow. Following orthodox religious figures.
Okay, we'll do a whole session, Stu, back in one of the other conclaves where we'll just see harmonious people going about, removing knowledge from other people. Yeah, but in a sort of fun way.
I've always thought we need a beach episode.
It sounds like the Gilmore Girls, but with more religion, which I'm kind of into.
Cool. I love this. I love this Templar.
I think that's great. And I think, to go back to the Templar rank as a whole, there should be very few Templars. I'm thinking one for each section. So if we describe Surfloat Town, Pirina and all that as southeast, I'm throwing that out there. Southeast Formia, they're sort of on the compass map, let's say. So they're not referred to, they're referred to as other letters. So not
Yeah, we need to avoid the letter ranks.
A-E-O-U-O. These
So
are
they're swap.
N-E, S and W. How about that?
So there's only 4.
There's only 4 Templars. N, E, S and W. Thank you very much, Otis. And if you want to submit a character, please send your character to criticalditto@gmail.com or contact us via Twitter.
I'm just trying to work out which ones are the best. If I was a villain...
I was gonna. Have we come to the same realization?
We absolutely have.
What?
We've already
Mr.
met
E.
Jinx.
And we'll end the midsection there. Enjoy. Quick, get back out of the airlock midsection. Oh, there's no more oxygen left. No! Just dropping in quickly at the end of the midsection to say you're about to hear a promo. As you all know, we did a promo, and we want to get it out there as much as possible. And with that, we want to get as many other people's promos in our podcast as possible. We want to spread the love. The first podcast in our podcast promotional section is Postcards from Pearl. Perfect. Jonah and Sarah do a great job on this podcast. we all listen to it religiously because it's brilliant. Stu is even a guest in an upcoming episode, I believe. So, they're good people. And this promo proves it. Have a listen.
Hello, friends. My name is Jonah Jackson. I'm the Game Master on Quest Company Jr., an actual play RPG podcast that's fun for the whole family. You can join us for fun adventures in our series Guardians of Greenwood and Postcards from Pearl.
Are you talking about me?
Oh, hey, Pearl. Yeah, I was just about to tell him all about you.
I want to help. My name is Pearl. I'm 10 years old. I'm a super cool Pokemon trainer. My best friend is a seal named Sealy.
Or?
I'm exploring the Kanoko region to become the very best like no one ever was.
Oh, yeah, Kanoko is a brand new region.
I'm making a lot of new friends, and I'm trying to take down Team Nasty.
Well, those guys are no good.
Yeah, they steal Pokemon and turn them into shadow Pokemon. What the heck?
Well, if there's anyone who can stop them.
It's a 10-year-old who was raised on a cruise ship.
Or.
Okay, Sealy and I are gonna go train. See you later.
Bye, Pearl. If you want to follow Pearl's adventures, check out Quest Company Jr. wherever you get your podcasts. Quest Company Jr. Fun at the table, fun for the family.
Who's that Pokemon?
Poliwrath!
It's Poliwrath!
Paytang leads Brandi, Theo, and Kenny up several flights of winding staircases. Noise starts pouring down, louder and louder. It seems like there's some kind of, gathered crowd. There's music up there, swinging music.
Interesting.
Notes to editor. But like also a baying crowd. It's pretty, it's an odd mix. And eventually Paytang leads you through a doorway. And as you open into this vast, the top of the obelisk is like a mini pyramid in itself.
And if I remember correctly, it's above the clouds.
It is above the clouds, yes.
Ooh,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
God, this is a long walk then. My God, we are walking above the clouds.
We've walked 16,000 feet.
There's actually a lift up to about floor 50, but then after that, that's just service access after that. Then you have to start walking.
Then you have to start walking.
Yes.
Once we're within walking distance of above the clouds.
Yeah, but you go into the pyramid, and you are greeted with an insane sight. It's like a wrestling arena meets a Pokemon gym. You've got people, Pokemon, placards, crazy stuff. There is some kind of ring in the middle. There is also, how the Emperor at the Colosseum had his own little plinth. There's one of those up at the far end. It basically looks like a Pokemon gym has been thrust into a building that completely does not house it. And then on top of that has been built this gaudy entertainment structure as well. It's peak Pyranile, ironically. It's ancient, topped with a horrible dusting of
Sinnoh.
and crime and excess and gaudiness, and it is awful, and it's noisy, and the noises don't mix. You've got crowds chanting over swing music. It is an affront to the ears and the eyes. And in the middle of this arena, there is some kind of match going on, and I don't know yet exactly what is being competed, and I want us to decide that right now. What is this super high stakes match about?
Maybe if it's underground, but it has this sort of stadium feel, maybe it is person v Pokemon fighting.
Ooh. That's more brutal than I thought, but I like it. It's a cage match.
Yeah.
Should we go that direction? Because I was like, we either lean into like, this is people wailing on each other and it's brutal, or we just go like synchronized daisy arranging.
We haven't done that much fighting. I'm game for that.
Alrighty, it is people versus Pokemon MMA. Great. So in this arena, there is a match currently going on.
Mixed Monarchs.
Mixed Monarchs. Oh my God, Ali, you've nailed it today. Yeah, it's a Mixed Monarchs cage match, which
is completely banned.
Oh my God! For obvious reasons.
There are no rules. Okay, so you walk in and you see, obviously, in the gladiatorial Emperor plinth, you see, as expected, sat draped even on this throne-esque opulent chair, a Buizel. Sorry.
I love that it's a Buizel in charge of this thing.
Why did we pick?
It's not even a floatzel, it's a Buizel. Buizel almost looks bored with the events unfolding, in complete contrast to the crowd who are going mental.
I think the Buizel absolutely has a very, very over-pumped floating aid.
Yes.
Like the floatzel has this like huge life preserver.
So it's like a
around
mink, but
it's massive in this Buizel. It's huge in its fur.
And it's Buizel fur. Oh, no.
It's human skin.
Much better.
Much better.
Oh. Ali and David, what is one other thing you noticed about Buizel the minute you walk in?
We notice the pile of Pokeballs by Buizel.
Great.
The pile of confiscated Pokeballs.
Confiscate Pokeballs, loot piled around them, as if to signify like it's not tied up, it's not locked away, it's just there. Oh yeah, try and take it if you want. But this is mine, and if you try, I will destroy you. So I love that. Yep.
I think that this Buizel is adorned in like jewelry, very sort of like Kiss the Ring sort of jewelry, and like a necklace and bracelets and stuff. But it's very obviously got an M in it.
Nice.
So it is just he's just repurposed Munchlax's like.
She's taken all of his stuff.
Yeah.
And I think the chair as well is like it's Munchlax shaped.
Yeah.
And Buizel has just forced herself into it. Like, I don't even care. I love the fact that my butt groove is different, and I'm going to reshape this. Also, next to Buizel, stood by her right-hand side, is Jolly the Gardevoir.
It's all coming together.
Vroom.
And then on Buizel's left-hand side is a Shedinja.
Yes, the mind-reading Shedinja. Very
that
good.
we heard about in the vignette, that I'm going to bring in.
Great. So on the right-hand side is Jolly the Gardevoir. On the left-hand side is just this creepy, horrible, floating husk of a bug just slowly moving up and down. Its buggy eyes just like scanning the crowd. You know, at any minute, it feels like these eyes could hone in on you and extract your very soul. And I think as soon as it kind of focuses on someone in the crowd, there's just this like sweaty moment where they're like, what are they reading? Are they getting anything? Oh my goodness. And then it moves on and the person relaxes slightly and gets back into the match.
So, yeah, people are dancing and cheering. But then if the Shedinja looks at you, you can almost see little cracks in people's enjoyment of it.
Yeah.
There's like a, ha, yes, I'm totally having fun.
Great.
I'm having a great time. And suddenly you notice that actually it looks like everyone's just terrified.
And also you notice Jolly the Gardevoir occasionally just exercising double team, and you realise that actually the crowd of Gardevoirs that were guarding the museum wasn't many Gardevoirs, it was just one. It was just Jolly.
No! I mean, we still would have lost, let's face it.
But I think that signifies just how the capabilities of Jolly, that, you know, they can guard the entire museum, which apparently is completely under mafia control.
Man, that is such an OP Gardevoir. You've got the brains and the muscle behind Buizel.
You can just sense the power coming off that podium, that plinth. Yeah, but in the ring, you see a match going on. What is the Pokemon? I know who the human is, but who's the Pokemon?
You know who the... Okay.
I know who the human is. I've got an idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say Clobberpuss.
No, I like it. I really like
great.
it. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. In the arena, you see a Clobberpuss. I love saying that.
It's a great word to say.
Really good one to say, isn't it?
Thanks, Galar.
This Clobberpuss is hype. It is bounding around this cage, using its suckers to suck onto one wall and then poof, bounding back, connecting its human opponent with rough haymakers, clotheslines, absolutely wailing on Mesperit Dealer.
Oh.
And I think Buizel grabs a mic from somewhere and just goes, I don't know if Jolly the Gardevoir just translates it for everyone.
I think so.
And in everyone's minds, the dialogue is translated as, I know you were cheating, and I don't take cheaters lightly. I don't take anyone lightly. So this is your punishment. Enjoy. And the Mesperit Dealer just... No! And Buizel just gives the thumbs down. And Clobberpuss just... And Mesperit Dealer just goes down, beaten... Thus ends Mesperit Dealer's arc. What an arc. Hey.
I'm going to miss that voice.
And Paytang ushers you to like the side of the cage where there's a little holding area and a sign that just says next opponents, and gives you all a look and's like, good luck, I guess.
Wait, we're gonna go in there?
You've all committed crimes against the Buizel family, and this is what happens.
But I'm all full of cheese.
That's
yeah,
why
protein,
you fed
right?
us, that's why you fed us the toasties.
Yeah.
You're fattening us up.
That's the help.
My reflexes aren't going to be as honed now.
You've got calories in you, that's good. Look, I'm sorry, alright, but my family was born into the Buizel family.
Did you
there's a look.
Oh no!
The Shedinja just appears.
Yes, God, and the Shedinja just is like, shunk, and like the entire crowd goes quiet. Shedinja.
Wait, so.
And Paytang's just like frozen.
And you hear the Gardevoir in your minds say, I think we've got a challenger to jump the queue. In you go.
And Paytang's like, no, please. Anything. I'll do anything.
All right, this has got to stop now. And then Brandi squares up to Shedinja. This man's just a cheese toasty dealer. You can't. What's so wrong with that? What did he do?
Buizel leans over to Gardevoir, whispers something in her ear. Gardevoir leans back, whispers something, and Buizel just says, Buizel. And Gardevoir announces, just put them all in.
Put them all. Well, actually, we've got a better chance against this. Nice work, it worked.
I think Buizel laughs a little at Brandi's comments, like, and you're all like shoved into the cage by
a bear tick.
A bear tick, great. Bear tick.
Cold. Keep your hands to yourself, bear tick.
Ooh, bear tick. So there's 4 of you in the cage. Paytang is just like frozen in fear. You 3 are there. Sans Pokeballs, feeling naked on your belts. The lights go down, and the crowd hushes as well. And then we start to hear entrance music.
Hold the phone. Are we not fighting the Clobberpuss?
No. The club was like a warm-up act.
Oh, so Brandi's like, go on, bring it on, Clobberpuss. Bring it on, Clobbo.
Clobberpuss is just putting their coat on. He's like, I'm done, man. Shift over. No, lights go down, and the crowd recognises the music, and they start chanting. Who are you facing?
It's gonna have to be pretty monstrous.
Yeah, so there's 4 of you. Maybe a Machamp.
I was going to
4
say a
arms,
Machamp,
4
yeah.
people. The Rock
Roided
of
up.
Machamps. Who has what's their stage name? The Machamp stage name.
Just Dwayne.
It's just Dwayne. or Rock the Dwayne Johnson.
Yes.
No.
The Dwayne.
Rock the Dwayne. And they're all going, the Dwayne, the Dwayne, the Dwayne.
I thought we were supposed to be here for the train, not the Dwayne.
It's the Dwayne arc. You all just misheard. And then Rock the Dwayne Johnson strides out down the entrance podium, and they are just flexing. I'm a champ. They are massive, and they stride down. Someone comes to open the door of the cage, and Rock says, Machamp, and just connects it with 2 fists and destroys the door, and it slams against the other side of the cage. Slides down. Machamp steps into the ring. With each step, the springboarded mat shakes and shudders, and he turns to face his 4 opponents.
Brandi might say, all right, so 4 against 1, that's fine. I guess we might have a chance. Weasel. Oh, it's not 4 against 1. It's 1 against 1 against 1 against 1 against 1. Only 1 comes out alive.
So the 4 humans and the giant Machamp look at each other, now not as companions or even fellow travellers, but as competitors?
No, I look at them like my fellow travellers.
In a death match?
Absolutely not!
With blood in their eyes?
No, Stu, that's not going to happen. I'm not.
Kill each other!
See you next week! Another episode finitoed. Wow. What a ride. What a ride where we stayed in one room for the majority of the episode. Now, if that's not classic critical Ditto, I don't know what is. I'd like to say a big thank you to Pokemon Tabletop United and the Pokemon of their creators. I was about to say the Pokemon of creators' journeys, which, you know what? I'd also like to say thank you to the Pokemon. Thank you, Pokemon. I know I'm talking to you, the individual Pokemon. Maractus, Litleo, Cleffa, and then 1,000 of the others that I can't mention on there. But those were the 3 that popped into my head just now. Oh, I've hit the table and ruined that. No, I'm still going to use it. I'd also like to say thank you to Junichi Masuda and Satoshi Tajiri, who created Pokemon. So, small props to you guys. I'd also like to thank everyone on our Discord server. Shout out to you. I think you might be listening to this live, which is mad to me. So I'm going to say hello to you. And, give us a big muck yeah if you are listening live. If you're not listening live, you're just listening and, just shout muck yeah in your car, on the train. Don't be on the train. This is not the time to be on the train. Or in your car, really. In your house. In your small bubble, shout muck yeah. I'd also like to thank Braxton Burks and the Materia Collective for the epic score of Pokemon music that we use, which is so brilliant, as always. There's no better music out there, to be honest. There's no better music out there, except for possibly Glitch X City, who also has incredible music, and their remix skills are insane. So check both of those out. There are links in our show notes. Show notes? Is that what they're called? It sounds good, so I'll use it. And I'd like to thank you all for listening, because it's been great. It's great. It's great that people hear this, and that I'm not just going mad talking to myself in a dark room. And of course, I've got to thank David, Stu and Ali for their tireless work in indulging what has been a fantasy of mine for a while, which is to just talk about Pokemon for 2 to 3 hours solidly and pretend to be in the world. And finally, join in if you know what's coming. Go catch 'em all. And by all, I mean your dreams.
Oh, where did I go? He sighed.
You're on drip.
But which one, Ali? The 6th or the 7th? It's crucial. Okay.